myself, but majority of Nigerians who are suffering under the yoke of incompetence and bad leadership in Nigeria. We have said it several times since 2019 that it is Buhari that is on trial. It is members of his regime that is on trial. It is members of his cabal that are on trial. It is people who are in his cabinet that are on trial. And the people who are supporting his cruel regime that are on trial. What we are here to do, and will continue to do, is to be witnesses in this trial against the enemies of our nation, Nigeria.
And we show them that the youth are just lazy. We are not lazy anymore.
So, having done this, we decided to come out and address the people. This trial in itself is a distraction, but it's also an opportunity for mobilization against the bad leadership in the country. It's an opportunity for us to end bad leadership in Nigeria. And I promised in 2019 and I promise today that this regime will fall. Amen. The Buhari regime will fall under the weight of his own revolution. That the revolution they are afraid of has already started.
We are not afraid.
In fact, they are the ones mobilizing for the revolution.
We are not afraid.
They are using hunger and starvation to mobilize for the revolution.
We are the youth of tomorrow.
Unemployment to mobilize for the revolution. They are using nepotism and tribalism to mobilize for the revolution. And as a result, all of you must be waiting to celebrate the fall of the regime. And I guarantee you that one day we will celebrate over the imposed on Revolution Now activists who are under trial at the Federal High Court here in Abuja. The bail condition imposed on us is including myself, by Justice Ijoma Ojukwu has never been seen in the history of Nigeria before. She limited me to stay in Abuja, city of Abuja. Since 2019, I've not been able to leave Abuja to see my children, to see my wife. I live in the US, but I'm not regretting it because it was a historical call to duty to organize against repression and criminality in Nigeria. So, we came before to this court and they discharged or dismissed that particular appeal on technicality. That one of the appellants did not sign the paperwork. The reason he couldn't sign was that he was also limited to Osun State. So he couldn't come to Abuja to file court papers. See, they are trying us in Abuja, but making it impossible to travel to court. So we decided to come back, and when we arrived here, they said our case has not been filed within time. Of course, you know that there have been COVID-19, there have been Jusun strikes that made it impossible for us to file on time. So that has been granted now. But guess what? Please, can we have one house? Guess what? Courts are going on vacation again for 2 months. So that means that even if we get a date, if we are lucky at all, we may not get a date until October. That will mean that I have spent 2 years and more in unjust captivity in Abuja. While that was happening, they were abducting me. While that was happening, they shot at me at Unity Fountain recently. While that was happening, they have prevented me from working. While that was happening, they have cooked up a lot of lawsuits. The Attorney General sued me for libel twice because he said Sahara reporters accused him of corruption, which is true. He's a corrupt man, absolutely. But it wasn't me, it was Sahara reporters. And they know that. The former Inspector General of Police, Adamu, who is now, who has been fired, also sued me for a story Sahara reporters did that he bribed his way to have his tenure extended by 2 months eventually with 2 billion naira. That's 1 billion naira per month, which is also true. But he sued me and they were doing it secretly. There are several other lawsuits that were being used to tie us down with the hope that we'll be distracted and never have time to organize against the tyranny that's going on in the land. But the good news is that it was also during this period that we have had NSAS. Yes. It was also during this period that we had Buhari must go. Yes. June 12th, we have had several protests, including helping to free Afaka students, yes, which you covered. And there will be more until this regime is brought to an end. We will never stop. Revolution! Now, if they kill me, others will carry on, right? Yes. You cannot kill 200 million people. And the worst thing they are doing is that they have understood that they can't get away with these atrocities. That's why they banned Twitter. I don't know what they are going to ban next, but they are hell-bent on destroying themselves, and they must be destroyed. Meanwhile, they have asked people to sign up for national identity identification number names, and they put a terrorist sympathizer in charge of your database. Like that is Pantami, yes, right? So,
he don't come out to deny these allegations, and so some of these allegations they need to also deny them. So basically,
make I tell you, make I speak out for this thing, tell them like Fela talk, make they carry me go court. I go open book for them. We will prove and say him be terrorist sympathizer because we get video to show when they support Boko Haram. We get video when they talk say they go kill Yakowa, we come later die for helicopter crash.
Until then, since we never feel proof, we no go fit take those allegations. But meanwhile, now as it be now, what will be the way forward?
The way forward, now make Buhari pack in things and the man no dey competent to rule Nigeria. He's not an youth. He's not an old man. And this is the solution be that Nigeria don't tire. Make you go check the price conditions imposed on me. Say I don't feel leave Abuja, I can't leave this Abuja. And the last 2 years I've been stuck in Abuja. Meanwhile, people waste still billions of naira. If they carry passport, give them. They go for treatment. Even fire show, one time they go treatment, they go they dance with woman. So me, when they fight for the betterment of the country, these criminals are using the judicial system to keep me locked up in Nigeria and in Abuja. That's where they came here.
What was their reasons for doing that?
They claim, according to them, that I was trying to overthrow the government with bare hands. Meanwhile, the same people are paying off bandits, terrorists all the time. They are paying them ransom. Whereas those of us who are against bad governance have been labeled as, you know, yes, one of the first was terrorism. But this was, according to them, treason. So the people that are committing treason in Nigeria are the people who are disrespecting the people of Nigeria. And Buhari is the lead of those criminal elements who are doing this to our people and to the country called Nigeria.
And Buhari must go.
Technicalities. The technicality that was used the last time was that they said the paperwork was not signed by all the appellants. Whereas
Can you imagine?
one of the appellants who was supposed to sign the paperwork, who was my co-defendant, was also asked not to leave Osun State. How can you come to prosecute a case in Abuja when you can't leave Osun State? So it shouldn't have happened. They should have discharged that case in our favor because the materials of the case, of the matter, were well spelled out. Simple. Yes. Thank you guys. So let's arrange for everybody.